Hi everyone, welcome to Divine Secret Tarot. I had not shuffled any of the decks yet. And what I found really interesting is I've got two decks in front of me and I was called to get the Cirque du Tarot deck. I always feel that that's like a divine masculine type of deck. I don't know why. Maybe it's the resonance of a little bit of the Dark Night of the Soul. And then I had noticed that the Cirque du Tarot had the Tower card at that bottom. So I was like, okay, cool, right? I've seen that. But then the other deck, my personal deck, the Divine Sacred Tarot deck, had the Tower at the bottom of the deck as well. Now, okay, bearing in mind, I left the decks where they were over a few days, maybe even like a week or two, because I haven't used these in a while. Hadn't shuffled. But I was very curious that both of these cards had the tower right at the bottom. And it's really interesting because at the back of the deck, we've got the Three of Cups. I feel like this message is it's not going to resonate with anyone, but it's going to resonate with a very few, like, I feel like you're already in tune with your spirit guides, your ancestors, your team. You're very high vibrational. Okay. The Tower card had the Three of Cups at the back of the deck. The Tower card on my personal deck had the Four of Cups. And I was curious, okay, well, what about the other deck that I've got here? It had the Ten of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. So I split it, we have the World, and I split it again and we had the Lovers. We've already got the Knight of Swords and the Knight of Cups at the bottom of the other two decks. As I said, none of these have been altered, manipulated, shuffled. At the bottom of the Knight of Swords, we have the Emperor. At the bottom of the Knight of Cups, we have the Hanged One. The only reason I'm telling you all of these cards is if you have a deck and you wanted to pause the video to get out all of these cards in front of you, you're going to receive these specific downloads based on the type of deck that you have. Now, none of these are repeating apart from the Tower card, so you could easily do this with one deck. I would suggest try and get multiple decks though, because each and every one of you is going to receive different light codes. So from this video, every time I do this video, it is infused with the light codes. I have subliminals at the back, and it's very different for each and every video. So right now we've got the presence of the Lord, blind faith. So blind faith is the artist. They are a rock supergroup, but it's the presence of the Lord. You know, I finally found a way to live just like I never could before. And I know I don't have much to give. Soon I can open any door. Everybody knows the secret. Everybody knows the score. I have finally found a way to live in the presence of the Lord. As I was mentioning earlier, some of these songs that you are going to be hit with various songs from different genres, from different decades. And it's almost as if you're switching up who you actually are. And what I mean by that is, you know, the version of you were 5 or 10 years ago. And this applies to whether you're a divine masculine or a feminine. Whoever you identify with, energetically, genetically, it's going to be applicable to everyone. But take what resonates. What I'm getting here is you've made peace with your inner self, your higher self, your childlike self, and it's taken a lot of work. And you didn't really expect any rewards. As if feel like I've done this work, now where is my twin flame? It's not like that. I feel like because you've done the work, you're looking at yourself and you're saying, I am my twin flame. And it's a very different type of union energy. And what I mean by that is you're not just acclimatized to this new physical reality. You're actually acknowledging the God self within, the divine in you, and the twin flame in you, in union. And what I mean by that is whenever you look at your eyes and you see yourself, you also see your twin flame. And it's not something you can manipulate or um, manifest. It just is a feeling. Just like you know who your twin flame is because it's a feeling. And a lot of times we dilute what this feeling, what this intuition is, because there's so many people online wanting to take that away, to divert you from your soul purpose, to test your limits. And it really is trying and testing, but nobody can take that away from you. It's almost as if I'm seeing that a lot more of you are digging in your heels, knowing that no matter how much I let this person go, I can't shake the feeling that this is my person and I want them to be free. I want to love them as if they feel free. And I want to be free in that process. Now, we've got the Tower card, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. I'm seeing like pieces on a chessboard. There are people removing themselves from this tower. And then the other tower card, we've got like a planetary destruction. It is basically it's almost as if a planet has, or even, yeah, I feel like a planet or an asteroid is being um shattered through time, through space. And on the flip side, we've got the Three of Cups and the Four of Cups. I feel that a lot of you have understood why you've distanced yourself from either your twin flame, acknowledging the beauty in separation. And during that, you're actually being very mindful of those people you hang out with. And you're no longer playing the martyr, playing the victim about your own journey, your own process. Like a lot of you had felt a little bit too outcast. You know, maybe I'm doing this to myself. Maybe I've purposely pulled myself out of connections that could potentially thrive. You know, you see all these other people with friends and families, and you see so many with happy connections. And before you used to be the type of individual who used to say, well, when is it my turn? When do I get this? And now you've come out of that energy. You're now tapping into your intuition, knowing that those tower moments were allowing you to trigger yourself into becoming who you truly were. And also a supercharged version, a super, what am I trying to say? Like I keep getting superheroes or wings or, flying. Like you've evolved into this new version of yourself that isn't quite your younger self who you really have come to appreciate and love. You're this hybrid version of yourself where you've been honest about what you want and actually have the feeling of freedom. So a lot of you probably have symptoms of depression or anxiety in the past, or you ruminated over things quite a lot, and then in the future you kind of like psyched yourself out. But I feel like it had been a lot of effort to bring yourself into this present moment. And when you're in this present moment, you had acknowledged, well, I've been working so hard to get here. So why am I in any rush to get there? To get to union, to get to the promotion or this point of my existence, I feel like it is similar to sitting in meditation. We don't do meditation to get to a specific point because every time we meditate, it goes through different lessons and energies that we need at that time. And then the outcome of the meditation, it can be peace, tranquility, harmony. It could be revelation, but we never know what type of meditation will come out of that. Sometimes we come out of it and we just feel so like zenned out. It's really hard to kind of plant our feet back into this present reality. And other times we think, did I even meditate there? Because all I did was think. And that's fine because you were processing things that you haven't yet been able to process in quiet time. What I'm trying to say here is the tower moments for both you and your divine counterpart are allowing you to be in the present moment and appreciate where you are without any preconceived expectations and ideas. So you're able to be free on your own by yourself. You're able to love freely. And in that love, you feel the weight has shifted off of your shoulders. You feel that there is no more expectations about what you want. Doesn't mean you don't desire things, but it's giving you the opportunity to say, okay, this is what I truly want. This is not so much, but I'm not going to focus on that because I'm going to focus on right now. And then a lot of you have these daily mantras and you keep going back to those daily mantras. Mine personally is asking my higher self with faith now. Before I used to do it, as habit. And now with faith, I ask, what would you have me do? Where would you have me go? What would you have me say and to whom? What do I need to receive? And how can I be of service? Now, I've written some of these in my first book called Happiness Within, and a lot of that has additional science to back up some of the tools that we use. So if you are a skeptic or you know somebody who's a little bit of a skeptic, maybe suggest this to them as a gift. But basically, what I'm seeing here is there is no expectation of arriving to a certain destination in a certain way. I feel like right now, some of you are hovering, some of you are soaring, and some of you are just sitting by the lake and enjoying the view. But whichever part of the journey that you feel resonant with, you're in this whole new breed of reality. This whole new breed of love for yourself, love for the people around you, appreciation for where you are. And I'm also seeing this unwavering faith that everything is always working out for you. It used to be a mantra. This is what I'm saying. These old things used to be a mantra, and now they're pillars. They are cemented in solid ground because you've excavated, you've done the work, and you've actually built these four pillars for the right things to come in at the right time. But there is no expectation about what happens. You have no control of the weather. You have no control of the support around you. And I'm saying this in a generic way. We all have the authority to change our reality. Of course we do. But the reality that you've changed is your subconscious about not being able to have it. So those roadblocks have begun to clear. And as you're going through this new version of yourself, at the back of the deck of the tower, we have the Ten of Cups. And as I mentioned earlier, we have the Ten of Pentacles. The World and the Lovers card is almost a byproduct of everything you've been through. And it's almost as if, okay, this is a very specific message for somebody, is you've put your person on a pedestal or you've admired them so much from afar. You kind of had a fallback, a fall from reality, thinking, well, what if it's all in my head, and it's never going to be like this in reality, that if we do get together, that I'm just going to fall out of love with them or not like them in that way. That is a real fear for some of you. As in, well, how will it be? Because I don't know who this person is anymore. But remember that they are you and you are them. That sometimes we end up feeling as if it's limerence, feeling as if it's all made up in our heads. And if you're a water sign, you've probably been told over and over and over again, you're a dreamer. But you know what? That's how things get created in this reality, by dreaming, by our fantasies, by our future visions. And those are the tower moments I feel like you're coming out of, going through. And it's such a beautiful transition because now you're understanding that it didn't actually have to be that hard. And not that there is any regret, but there is this huge sigh of relief. There is this huge exhalation. And as I mentioned, yeah, we've got the lovers, yeah, we've got the 10 of Pentacles, yeah, we've got the 10 of Cups and all of the information that we need regarding progress. But I'm also seeing that there is such a beautiful, harmonious frequency that you are in. And that is something that you've truly wanted and have continuously worked for. And that's a beautiful, nurturing place to be in for yourself. And I just want to pull out one card, one card of advice for the divine feminines and masculines who are listening here today. It's from the Divine Feminine Oracle Guidebook. What is one card for the collective? So Sanjig. It's Xuanjing, the mystic of peace. I am peace. When my mind is clear, the way is clear. Now, that is such a beautiful um depiction of what is going on right now. I have never seen this card in all of my time that I've done readings with this deck. I've never seen this card. And it's so beautifully aligned with the messages because when we know Albert Einstein had said, well, reportedly, obviously, that we cannot solve problems with the same thinking we used when we created them. That is such a good way of epitomizing, pulling through exactly what this reading is about. You are not the old version of you, and you've come so far into stepping into a higher self that you have truly manifested this world of harmonious frequency. And you're seeing your dreams and your fantasies and the future visions in a whole new, different perspective, from a higher perspective. We cannot solve our problems with the same thinking we used when we created them. Clarity only comes from clarity. And then there is a peace and calm that exists far beneath the constant banter most of us are listening to all day within our minds. Jung Yan, author of Clarissa Pinkola Est, calls it the river beneath the river. That is the steady flow of the universal life force that wants us to reach our goal, if we can only get still enough to merge with it. Wu Wei in Taoism Translates as doing nothing. Oh my gosh. What did I say? It feels like we're doing nothing like in meditation, but it's everything. It's a it's a sacred feminine art of trusting the force of life that exists within us all. Zoe mastered this spiritual practice by calming her mind and experiencing the still center that is the eye of the storm. Zoe's call for us to be still, do nothing other than shift our awareness, come out of the current state of mind we are in before making any moves or decisions. She reminds us that we only want to take action when what is moving us is the force of love at the heart of everything. So the mantra is I am peace. If you wanted to share it in the comments box, that would be amazing. Share some emojis as well. Let me know if this message resonates. And the intention is I am peace. When my mind is clear, the way is clear. I thought that was so beautiful. Guys, if you resonated, let me know. Make sure you hit the like button so more people can hopefully find videos like this that is for them. I'm sending you guys so much love. Bye for now.